Everyone, let's take a look at what's happening outside, starting with the Providence Skycam. It's been a bit of a gray and slightly sticky day here across southern New England, and temperatures, while they haven't been record-setting, they've been warm enough. Now, we are back into the 70s at this point, 77 in Providence, 77 in Smithfield, it's 76 in Westerly, 76 in Newport, and New Bedford at 78 degrees. And you may be saying, wait a second, really? It felt a lot warmer than that to me. Well, that's because there's so much moisture in the air. Those dew point temperatures up into the 60s and 70s, making it feel a lot more tropical. Now, all that moisture in the air is coming to fruition in a bad way as we look back to our west, really looking at that 91 corridor there and then on to the west in areas of western Massachusetts. And as you're getting into parts of central and western Connecticut, there are a lot of flash flood warnings out in that area as thunderstorms along a boundary have stalled in that spot. Now, will this impact us? Not really, to be honest. We're getting a little lucky on this one. That boundary doesn't really want to move, and that means those thunderstorms are kind of sitting there and just dumping rain on the same areas rather than, let's say, shifting off to the east. So bad news for our friends to the west. And if you are headed that way, if you have any traveling to do this evening, please make sure that you are staying weather aware and you don't want to be driving in areas with flash flood warnings or never over flooded roadways either. But as for what's happening back home, again, you can see those thunderstorms fall apart as they try to head east towards us. And then late tonight, we do end up with some of that moisture in the form of light showers. Even into tomorrow morning, here's 5:45 on the clock. If you're an early riser getting out the door, expect to need the umbrella at times, but really heavy stuff stays out of our way. I will say, though, as we move through tomorrow, expect perhaps a downpour or two, but more than anything, it's a stray shower or two, especially for the first half of the day. Thunderstorms renew to our west once again in the evening, but I do think it's going to be tough once again for them to reach us. So don't count on a deluge. Don't count on a day like what we had last week with those thunderstorms and heavy rain, at least not as we are heading into our Tuesday. Temperatures tomorrow going to be largely above average in the mid and upper 80s, depending on where you live. Cooler for the coast, as we often see with a pattern like this. 80 degrees for Westerly tomorrow, 79 in Newport, 82 for New Bedford, 87 for Providence, 85 in Smithfield, and 82 as we head to North Kingstown. But here's the issue. Once we get to the middle and end of the week, it is all about that heat and humidity. Don't get me wrong, we have to talk about thunderstorm chances too, but this is the big stuff, literally, when it comes to the numbers. We're going to be in the upper 80s for a couple days, even 90 and low 90s by the end of the week. But it's the kicker with the humidity that's going to be the issue. It will feel like we are in the low to mid 90s, even upper 90s at times. So that's why we have a heat advisory. It goes into place tomorrow at 11 a.m. It's going to last until Thursday at 7 p.m. And to be totally honest, I would not be surprised if it got extended into Friday as well, because check this out, as we move through the day tomorrow, even tomorrow being a quote-unquote cooler day, it'll still feel like we're in the low 90s. And then as we head to Wednesday and the temperatures really start to build, look at this, it'll feel like we're in the mid to upper 90s at times. So please make sure you're staying weather aware. Taking a look at that 7-day forecast, you can see exactly what I'm saying here with the thunderstorm chances still part of the equation here. So it's one of those unfortunate kind of unsettled patterns where we end up with a spotty shower or a spotty thunderstorm for a decent part of the week. Again, tomorrow it's more showers. I think Wednesday's the driest day with the chances being really slim, but then a couple of thunderstorms come back around Thursday and Friday. And while the chances in terms of coverage are rather small, I do think where those thunderstorms set up, we will have more downpours like we did last week. If there is a bright side to this forecast, it is quite literally the weekend. Our